Okay, start by cocking it. Pull the lever screw. Lever comes out. Bolt comes out. Ejector comes out. Now, push in this little tab. Holding the hammer back. Pull the trigger, let the hammer down carefully. Now, you got to take off the buttstock. Set that aside. Now, I take a rag, because what I want to do is cover up the main string, and this little strut here needs to pop out. I just kind of tap it to the side. Now you've taken off the mainspring tension. Now it's just simple disassembly. Doesn't matter which screw you pull out first. Pull out. That one pulls out the hammer. This just helps hold in the bottom plate. Holds on the bottom plate. Now we can just take the whole bottom plate assembly out, the trigger. Hammer comes out. Oops. Well, that screw's already loose. That holds the carrier. Now, there's the carrier and the bolt. Now, you can see this. Right here, if you look careful, you can see a little raised piece of metal. That was a piece of a little tiny saw blade that I cut and soldered on there. This is where the problem is with the Marlin, is this carrier is soft, and over time, this portion right here on the lever bumps that to rise the carrier. Over time, it wears a groove right there, which allows the carrier to drop just enough to let that second round in from the magazine. That's the problem. Just cut a little piece of thin, hard steel. My guess is steel banding from like pallets would work. Cut a little piece. I just used plain old soft solder. Put it on there. It's worked beautifully ever since then. It added a little thickness, but it's never caused me a problem. That's all you have to do to fix the Marlin jam. It's that right there. And you can see how fast the thing comes apart. Now you can go ahead, you can clean it, do everything else. It's quick and simple. Put it back together. The bolt goes in. And you'll see when the bolt locks up, this hook here catches in here, and that's what kind of gives you the final lockup. So you can tell which way it needs to go because the lever is going to be in there like this, so that this little dog leg needs to go to the rear. Slides down its groove. Carrier goes in. This little piece here has to go to the bottom. Not snugging it up too much, just enough to hold it together. Then, get the hammer. Roughly in place. Bottom plate goes in. And then to get the trigger, you have to You have to play with the trigger a little bit to get it to be back as it goes in there. Kind of hold it under a little tension. Get it in there and get the hammer in its place, because the hammer screw goes through part of the bottom plate. So you got to get that all lined up. Put a little pressure on the hammer so it lines up, gets the trigger out of the way. Boom. Then you've got two screws. One is a little shorter, one is a little longer. The shorter one has to go here. I've tried putting the longer one there. It runs into the side of the carrier, locks everything up tight as could be. Learning that the hard way. The longer one goes up here. Then, ready for the spring, the main spring. I don't know that it matters which end goes forward. Then what I do to get this on is there's a little notch here that the bottom of it goes into. Catches in. Get the end of it into there. And then to compress it, I just use a screwdriver, put it across the bottom leg like this, and pull down until you'll hear it kind of click into place. Oops. But you got to put the piece in there correctly. Ouch. Oh, that's wrong. The leg does have to go forward. There it goes. Push that just roughly to the center. Then still slightly off. Buttstock slides on. That goes in. Cock the hammer. Ejector goes in. I always hold the hammer back a little bit, makes it a little easier to put the bolt in. Get the bolt in. Alright, why isn't that going in? Oh, the bolt is in the way. Locking bolts are sticking up. There it goes. Close the bolt about halfway. Take the lever, put it in, go up and engage the bolt. That screw goes in. Lever screw. Boom. Like a charm. That's all there is to it.